I'd like to know your point of view.
Hi everyone, welcome to Evening TV. I'm Evening Ransom, and with the holidays coming up, and this is an especially tricky year with the pandemic, the COVID-19 thing. All of us are dealing with a lot of loss and uncertainty because it's going to be a different kind of a holiday for everyone. First of all, because 2020 has been a different kind of year for everyone. Those of you who know me or follow my channel will know that not only have I lost a child, I had a child that died. He was 20 years old and he died in 2016, right before I started my channel. But prior to that, I had been estranged from my family for 15 years. So when the holidays roll around, it can be tricky. It can be tricky for me. Even before this happened, I feel more like the rest of the world is experiencing, is more in line with what I go through. So I relate, and so I felt like I had maybe a little experience with grief over the holidays. Losses can be all kinds of different kinds of losses. It doesn't only have to be a death. It can be estrangement. It can be the end of a relationship. It can be the end of a job. It can be the end of life as you knew it. It can, maybe you lost your health. Maybe your health you got a big health crisis. You've lost a parent. You've lost whatever. Any kind of loss that was unexpected, unwanted, and life just basically, there was a before and an after, and you're in the after period now. Like, before this happened, my life was this way, and now that this happened, my life is this way. And then you have your cycles, and there's certain times that hit that are harder than other times. And one of those times for a lot of people can be the holidays, especially if this is your first holiday, where you don't have, what you had last year. And I guess this year it's going to be sort of like that for everyone, because I don't know where you are in the world or what it's like for you, but I think Christmas parties and things like that are going to be, at least smaller if they happen at all where you are. So it's just going to be different, and there's going to be people coming with masks on. It's just going to be a whole different thing. We've definitely had a shift in how we do things. And there can be maybe just even a certain amount of grief over a way of life that we lost this year. At least temporarily, we've lost it. My son's birthday is November 3rd. And so Halloween used to be a big thing. Like, we used to combine it with his birthday and maybe do a party or something for Halloween. So that's kind of when it starts. And then here I live in Mexico, so Dia de los Muertos is next. And that happens on November 1st and 2nd. And that's basically, it means the Day of the Dead. So it's kind of cool because, and then his birthday is November 3rd. So it's kind of perfect timing because it's all about celebrating our deceased loved ones. And so I get to do that. And I feel like my son Noah is getting a birthday party every year. So that's pretty cool. But then, then we roll right into Thanksgiving and then on to Christmas. It'll be on to New Year's. And I feel like it kind of keeps going all the way through New Year's, and you could even tack on Valentine's Day if you wanted to. So what are some of the things that I have done that have helped me get through these holidays? So one thing is that I try and create sort of a festive atmosphere. And if you've got children, or grandchildren, this can really inspire you to do it for them, or even children in your community or your friends' children or something like that, to create a festive atmosphere for the kids, because your deceased loved one wants you to be happy. They want you to be happy, and they want to see you enjoying your life. And your life is for experiences, and it's for you to enjoy. 15 years before he died, I had a near-death experience, and in that experience, I chose to live, and I shouldn't have lived. It was a pure miracle that I lived, and I chose to live because of my children. And I know that I was saved for some reason, and I wasn't saved to now not make the most of this life. And so I didn't expect my son to die. I didn't expect to live for them and then 15 years later have my son die. I didn't expect that, but that's what happened, and I have to trust there's some reason for it, and I need to show up for my life as long as I'm here. I'm going to, when Christmas comes around, I'm going to give him a stocking. I am going to do for everyone else. I am going to talk about him. I also have a very strong sense that he's with me, and so that he's at celebrations and things like that. He's with us, and so I talk to him that way. I talk to him as though he's with me. I talk about him that way. I play. He was a musician. I play his videos. I listen to his music, and that's just part of what we do. I also play happy movies. We watch happy movies. We watched Coco back during Dia de los Muertos. We played Coco. At Christmas time, we're going to watch, Scrooged and It's a Wonderful Life and all those traditional movies. And we're going to listen to Christmas songs. And we're going to go ahead and celebrate those traditions. So at the end of the year, I bring in a new tradition that I've started for him, where we kind of honor him. And so those are all just, and you can develop your own ritual, whatever, if you want to. Around him, you can set him a place at the table at Thanksgiving, whatever you want to do, but go ahead and do it. So you do what you need to do for yourself. The next thing is also, if you're going to be with other people, only do what you feel comfortable doing, and take breaks if you need them. Slip off by yourself, do a little meditation, a little prayer, whatever. If you have anxiety coming up right before people come over, right before you head out somewhere, because there's going to be people there that have their kids with them or their parents with them, and you're not going to have that. Maybe there's going to be strangers there. They're going to ask you, how many kids do you have? And that's always a tricky one. I always say I have 2 kids. I have to say I have one here on earth, and I have one in spirit. And that's always a little bit of an awkward moment, but I try and pass it off, like it's very normal and I'm used to talking about it. But it would just feel weird to me to say I only have one kid, because I don't. I definitely, very, very close with my son Noah, and so I would never be able to say I only have one. And people get past it. They get past it pretty much. They usually say, "Oh, I'm sorry," and you go, "No, that's what happens." In life, people die, and it's okay. Take time to be by yourself, or to be with them. Take time to be with yourself or with them, and be gentle. Be really gentle with yourself, and know that it's okay. If you want to cry, if you want to scream and yell, if you want to laugh, if you want to, whatever you want to do, you just let it happen, and you be okay with whatever feelings you're having. It's totally fine. And also, the more you do that, the more you just embrace your feelings, the more you honor your feelings, the more thoroughly you're going to grieve and move past it and move through it. If you try and suppress your feelings, and you try and I need to get over this, I need to be strong for whatever, that is going to keep you stuck. That's going to keep you in grief longer, and you're not going to be able to move on, and it will keep you feeling stuck and kind of lost and confused, and that's where you'll stay. And it's real easy to waste time doing that, and I've done that. I did that a little bit in the beginning, for sure, because I was trying to be strong for my son and my son's friends and all of that, and probably delayed me a little bit in some of my healing. And also remember other loved ones. So, and remember even good times with, if you're estranged, if we're talking about estrangement, or if we're talking about a divorce or something like that, where the people are still living. It's okay to remember good times. It's okay to remember good times. On Thanksgiving, for sure, you want to be grateful. Be grateful for the loved ones that are still living. Be grateful for the food you have to eat. Be grateful for your friends. Be grateful for the roof over your head. Be grateful for, be grateful for what you still have, rather than dwelling on the loss. Dwelling on lost loved ones, lost friends, lost health, lost assets, lost job, whatever. There's still things you have to be grateful for, and really focus on those things. That will really, really help. I have lost everything. I have lost virtually everything except for one child. And I have in place, though, I have new friends, I have a new husband, I have a new family, I have, a new home. It fills up. Where there's empty space, it fills up. What we know about life is the only thing we can know for sure is that change is what happens, and we don't get to know it all in advance. We have what we want, we have what we hope, we have what we expect, and grief, a lot of times grief comes through, well, it comes from a couple of things. One, it comes from because we love them so much. It's a sign of how much you love them. But also it's a little bit of a sign of where there's a gap between your expectations and reality. I was a great mom, I was a great daughter, I was a great sister, I was a great friend. I never expected to lose, I was a great wife. I never expected to lose any of those people. I expected to, live old and, live till I was old with all of them. And that's just not how it went, because I didn't understand certain things about a relationship, and, certain things were going to end up happening that I would learn about the relationships and all of that. It wasn't built to be a forever thing. It was definitely, most of those relationships had an expiration date, and that I see clearly now. It's just how it went for me. And we're all kind of going through something now with this pandemic and COVID. Everyone's lost something this year. Everyone's lost something. So in a way, I feel like less of an oddball this year, because everyone's lost something. Everyone's got a lot more uncertainty, more aware of how uncertain life is. Life was always this uncertain. It was always this way. But now we're aware of it. We live in we're delusional about how much control we think we have. And, no one has control. No one has control. It's an illusion and a fantasy to believe that you do. But and we all kind of woke up to that this year. I had to wake up to that years ago, to the fact that I didn't have control. Things are not turning out the way that I expected at all. And it's a humbling experience, but you do get through it, and in a way you build some compassion and some wisdom when those things happen. Another great thing to do is to give back. Give things away to people, or volunteer somewhere where people have less than you. There's always someone who has less than you do. There's always things that, there's always someone you can help out, someone less fortunate. And helping out someone else, giving away, donating food, donating money, donating time, and even you can donate in the name, if you want to donate money, you can donate money to a cause or to someone in your loved one's name, something that they cared about. There's all kinds of different things you can do, but definitely giving back. It gives you a sense of purpose and assigns meaning to this, to whatever the tragedy was, and makes you feel useful, makes you feel purposeful in it. And also recognize the essence of the season as a whole. And remembering that can kind of be grounding in this 2020 year of the pandemic and COVID-19. Can be kind of grounding to remember the essence of the season, which is about togetherness, it's about love, it's about trying to be the best person we can be. And for sure, Thanksgiving is all about gratitude. It's about, being grateful. The essence of that season, and being together with the people that you love, if you can be, or at least be whoever you are there with. If you're there just with your dog, be grateful that you have your little dog or your little cat. But, whatever people you have that you're able to get together with this year, be grateful for that. We're getting together with just a couple family friends, and, real small little thing. And I'm going to be, ever so grateful that I have them with me. I won't have my son with me because he's back in the States and I'm in Mexico, so I won't have, any blood family, but I will have friends, and these are new friends that I've made just this year, because I've only been in Mexico for 1 year, and I'm so grateful to have these new friends. And since of the season, that I'm having friends over, we're cooking them dinner, and that we're not going to be alone and sad and all that kind of stuff. Last year, actually, my husband and I were alone, and that was fine too, but I see the progress we made because we have friends this year we didn't have last year. It gives us a chance to come out of ourselves, to come out of our own grief, to remember that it's not just about us. We aren't alone, especially this year we're not alone. This is a year where you can, remember to breathe, remember to pray, remember to do meditation, and think to yourself that you are connecting with everyone who's going through some kind of grief, who's had some kind of loss, and that is experiencing that over the holidays, because you will not be alone. So focus on, breathe in and then breathe out love to everyone who is also experiencing loss over this holiday season, and that will give you a feeling of connection and empowerment, and it will make it so that it's just not so lonesome and so sad. because it doesn't have to be. Grief is a natural occurrence that accompanies loss. It's a human thing to have grief, and it is exacerbated during the holidays because the holidays are weighted for us. They're weighted for us. We have memories of times that were maybe happier times. The TV, puts images on there, and so that's another time where our expectations don't match up with reality, maybe. So that can be a place of grief too. But suffering, real suffering, is sometimes a choice. I don't believe that we are meant to suffer. And so grief, yes, but suffering, long-term suffering, that's not necessary to do. Not if a loved one dies, not if you're estranged, not if you've lost something, not if we can't go outside and all be together like we used to be. Nothing should necessarily cause us to suffer. Every challenge that you are dealt in this life, you have the skills, you have the strength to make it through. That's why it's happening. And experiences are the reason we're here, and trying to remember that is really important. We came into this world and have a human body so that we can have experiences, so we can feel feelings, so that we can, all of that is part of the human experience that we were supposed to have, that we signed up to want to have, and that we were supposed to gain certain wisdom and gain certain gifts that these experiences were going to bring us. And we're going to be bigger and better because of it. And that's my belief, my sincerest belief, and it's already played out for me, so I know that it's true. I'll tell you one quick story before I sign off. I don't know if any of you know about lucid dreams, but the other night I had one, and it was my first one ever. And so I was sleeping, and I had this dream with my son there, and I hugged him, I smelled his hair, but I felt him really close to me ever since, though. And I definitely woke up feeling like, okay, I got a connection with that hug I had. Was so solid, it was so real, and smelling him was just like he was here. So it was really cool. Okay, you guys, have a really wonderful Thanksgiving. Thanks so much for being here, and please like the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Alrighty, bye bye.
Let me ask a little true. I'd like to know